Respects to Sadhguru, respects to Swamiji. My regards to all in the audience and members of the group attending the wonderful sort of seminar, which is on the face of it controversial to see. And it's something like what Shakespeare said. Thank you. I'm using it as a walking stick, old man. What Shakespeare used to say, to be or not to be is the question. So what Shakespeare said. There is something like our karma and akarma. So a few glimpses from the scriptures I am trying to present. And I don't know, I may be repeating what earlier speakers have said. Although the subject is same, approach may be slightly different, that's all. And I generally remember a speaker said in one of the meetings, person who speaks first, very easy for him to say, others will speak about it. And the person who speaks last, easier to say, all what I want to say has been said. So I am perhaps in that position today. We have heard yesterday and today very brilliant presentations on the subject. I will try to make what little contribution I can make. And if it is that is going to be useful to you, well, all credit will go to the Guru and Swamiji. So I start with the prayer, which all of us are familiar, we do it here. There is one thing I am saying, Ajnana, Viveranadasya, Jnana, Janasarika, Sadagaya, Chakshul Militam Jena, Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Now we go to the next one. Pranams to Guru, pranams to Swamiji. Warm greetings to all scholars and members of the audience and all co-devotees of Sri Peetham. Thanks for the opportunity to share my thoughts. Important topic of immense contemporary relevance. This is what is the problem today. Earlier we did not have, maybe 100 years back, there is nothing, no problem like that. Elders were there, gurus were there, implicit obedience to what they said. But today it is not so. Maybe, I don't say it is wrong. Questioning is good, but then questioning should not be the extent of overpowering by mere logic, because there is something beyond logic also. There are certain things logic cannot explain. So that comes by experience and by perhaps inspirational institution. Next one. The word Kārya, I understand like this. Karaniyam ide adava kartum yogyam. What should be done? Obligation. And what is fit to be done? There's an obligation I may not do. But what is fit, I may not be obliged to do. So both are there. Obligation is there. That is what is karaniyam. And what is fit to be done? Kartum yogyam. And the opposite will be akaraniyam and also na kartum yogyam. Or in legal language they say injunctions and prohibition. Our morning Dr. Tyagarajan was saying, what is prescription and what is proscription? So do's and don'ts generally. Next. This slogan has been repeatedly quoted, but it's worth quoting any number of times. Tasma shastram pramanande karyagarya vyavasthitam. Jnatva shastra videyanoktam karma kartum iha arhasi. That is the anchoring point here. Now, shastra. So therefore, let the scriptures be your authority in deciding what ought to be done, what ought not to be done. And having known what is said in the ordinance of the scriptures, you should act. Next. Now, what is the meaning of Shastra? In English, generally, they translate as science. Shastra means science. Sanskrit, we don't do that. Shastra means Shasana, Tranana, Shastra. Shasana means an instruction. The instruction can be either do or don't do. So it can be an order or a prohibition, injunction or prohibition. So Vedas are the base for that. Because the entire Vedic literature can be divided into two. What is called Vidhi, what should be done, and other is called nisheda, or what should not be done. So we can take like this, that what is karma or dharma, or what is akarma or adharma. So these are eternal, not today or yesterday or tomorrow, eternal and for all, and in all places and all time. That's the beauty of that. It is not temporary, it is not for a period, it is not for a group of people. This is common for all time, all people, all places, therefore remains eternal. That is what the Vedic injunction is. Next one. There's a convocation address in the Taittiriya Upanishad. This gives this. The teacher, after completion of all the courses, tells the students, something like a convocation address, Vedamanuchyacharyo ande vasana manishasti, satyam vada dharmam chaka. Then, Madhadevo bhava, Putradevo bhava, Acharya devo bhava, Achiti devo bhava. Up to that is okay. Now comes what is the do's and don'ts. Yani anavadyani karmani, thanitvayo vasyani, no hitarani. Actually, the no hitarani appears to be a superfluous thing, but it's emphasized. Yani anavadyani karmani, what is not condemnable, don't do that. Or what is acceptable, only you do. That's enough. No hitarani, nothing more. That is, includes both. And again, yani asmakam sucharitani, tanitvayo vasyani, no hitarani. Because gurus are models for us. Whatever they do, that's why earlier also it was quoted. The leader is a model, and Lord himself shows that in the Gita. Next one. Manusmriti says this, Yenasti Pidaro Yadaha, Yenayada Pidamaha, Tenayayat Sadam Margam. It's adjective there, not any margam. Because they are seniors to me, superiors to me, whatever they do, I can't copy that. Provided they are good, Satam Margam. This is described today in our official language as precedent or model content. What is the precedent? Precedent can also be only good precedent. A wrong thing can never be quoted as a precedent. That's why you go when there are no rules or procedures are not very clear. What we do? What was the way in which my senior has dealt with in a similar case? We take that. Provided it is good. Wrong precedent we can't. Somebody does something wrong, I can't quote that and do it. He has done it, therefore I am doing. We can't do. That's why Yena Asya Pitaro Yadaha, Yena Yada Pidamaha. It gives that line. Tena Yada provided Sagam Margam. Then what will happen? You will not get into any trouble. It is a Manusmriti. Next. Bhagavad Gita speaks about today's topic in 3 chapters. At least there are others. They are strewn all over, but chapter 4, Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga, chapter 16, Devasura Sampat Vibhaga Yoga, and chapter 17, Siddharthra Vibhaga Yoga. You find both there, positive and the negative. I see some examples I will show. Next one. 17, Sloka chapter 4. Lord says you must understand the nature of all 3 obligatory action, wrong action, and no action. Now, there's a very interesting point. Inaction is sometimes used in translation. Inaction is not correct. Because when it comes to obligatory action, inaction will be run counter. Inaction is not the word to use. No action. Similarly, it may appear to be same. Inaction and no action. No. Inaction and no action are different. No action is not taking any action. Inaction is remaining neutral. I'll give the example next. That's why here, no, previous one. You must understand the nature of all 3, obligatory, wrong, and no action. The truth about this is profound. Difficult to understand. Already it has been mentioned here. The karmano garihi gahana. Very, very difficult. You should understand all the 3. Karmanaha, bodhavyam, vikarmanaha, akaranasya bodhavyam. There are 3 types. Not merely action and no action. There is something God, action and inaction. Something God, no action also. Next. Speaking about the philosophy of action, the Lord says that even sages are perplexed as to what to do. What is wrong action and what is no action or not inaction. Bhagavad Gita gives a commentary on that. Sarvatra cha prasastam bodhavyam cha kartavyam eva cha. Na nisprayojanam bodhavyam ikhyate. Now these commentaries themselves are great, but they require sub-commentaries to understand. There are certain nuances in these things. Next one. Karma refers to what scriptures describe as auspicious, vidhi or obligation. You can't escape from there. Then it results in karma lopa. Karma lopa means it will bring you bad results. Vikarma is harmful. That is nisheda, avoidance. Details are explained in detail in chapters 16 and 17 of the Gita. We quote Gita always because Bhagavad Gita says in the introduction of his Gita Vashya, Idam Gita Shastram Sagara Vedanta Shastra Sangraha Bodham. There's no need for you to read any other book. Read only Gita. Idam Gita Shastram. The word Shastra is there. Sagala Vedanta Shastra Sangraha. But he adds one small condition there. Durvignaya Artham. It is not easy to understand also. It requires somebody to tell you. Commentaries are there, gurus are there. So akarma is, as I said, inaction, not the answer, which will run counter to obligatory duty. It is therefore state of no action. How to understand that? It is similar to the null point in magnetic field. You will see that physics and philosophy are very close in human matters because both deal with matter and spirit only. You've got the magnetic field, magnetometer is there. At some point of the placement of that, you will find a positive deflection of the needle. In another point, you find a negative reflection. Some point, there's a null point. This is actually not inaction, no action. Action is there in either way. This is called no action. That's what I wanted to give as an example. Otherwise, it's difficult to understand the difference between inaction and no action. Appear to be same, they are not same. Inaction will create problem. No action will not create problem. So, question detachment. There's an attachment but detachment. That is the difference between inaction and no action. Next. The following sloka in Vishnu Purana would also advocate. Tat karma yenna bandhaya savidya ya vimuktaye. What is called karma? That karma will bind. Karmana bhadyate jadu is the rule. So that is karma which will bind you. Tat karma yet nabandhaya. That should be the action. These are the first 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita. Madhusudana Saraswati in his Gudatha Deepika, commentary on Bhagavad Gita, summarizes the entire Bhagavad Gita in 3 sentences. Tatra tu pradame gande, karma tatyagavatmana, tvapadarthu vishuddhatma, sopabhakti nirupyate. Tattvamasi, Samaveda, Mahavakya. He is interpreting like that. Bhagavad Gita is actually expansion, explanation of Tattvamasi. How first 6 chapters deals with Tvam Padartha, second 6 deal with Tat Padartha, and the third one the non-difference or abheda between Tat and Tvam. Tattva Bhagavad Gitayam Pratame Kande. He likens Bhagavad Gita to Vedas. Here we call as yoga. Kanda is generally said in Vedas only. Karma Kanda, Upasana Kanda, Ajnana Kanda. So, Tattva Bhagavad Gitayam Pratame Kande Karma Tatyagavatmana, that is Karma Yoga. Karma Tatyagavatmana Tvampadartho Vishuddhatma Swabhavati Nirupyate. Didiyetu Bhagavat Bhakti Nishtha Varnanavatmana Tatpadartho Avadaryate. Tridiyetu Tayoho Aikyam Vakyartho Varnyate Sputam. Bhagavad Gita commentary is over 3 lines. Of course, he comments, but that is the essence, or rather the quintessence of what is there in the Bhagavad Gita. So that is how it starts. And here Vishnu Purana supports this by Tat Karma Yenna Bandhaya. That is action which is not bind you. That means what? Karma Yoga. In Karma Yoga, one has to do the job. If you don't do what is given to you as the classified citizen or a person. Chadurvurnya Maya Strictum sloga, generally people interpret wrongly, many of them, as caste. There's nothing called caste. Earlier, sir was giving about Shankara, I have no Jadi Veda. There is nothing called caste. Class is there. One should not confuse caste and class. There are 4 classes only. You can see Vajra Suchika Upanishad, which gives this. Brahmana Brahmana, Brahmana Kshatriya, Brahmana Vaishya, Brahmana Sudra. Like that, all the 3. And again, there's a misconception about the word Sudra. They don't understand the meaning. And they say it's a derogatory reference. No. Sudra means Sucham Prati Yasya Hridaya Dravati. When somebody is in trouble, we will run to him to help. He is a Sudra. That's why I always say Nandanani is the highest of them. It's not the Krishna birth. Because there is another argument for that, Janmanajayate Sudra. And also by studying of Vedas and how they become Vipra. And by doing all these disciplines, he becomes a little more higher than that. And Brahmana becomes only by Brahmajnana. Brahmajnana or Brahmana. So that is evolution and not by birth. You can say like this, by birth it is expected they will do it. That you can say, but not to be labeled because of birth. So the point here is, Tyaktva karma vilasangam nityavrittu ninasyaha karmani abhipravrittubi daivavidit karosata. This is action in inaction and inaction in action. Earlier also that was quoted. Whoever sees action in action and inaction in action. It's a very complicated sloka. That's why Bhagavad Gita says Durvijnayartham, not easy to understand Gita. The Sanskrit knowledge on how the literary translation will not help us. There is something much more than that. It's only an indicator. Having cast off attachment to the fruits of action, even though fully engaged in action, he does not do it. This I have taken from Mada Amrita Manana Retrospective, book published by them on Gita. I have taken. Next one. A mundane example can be seen how action is not there in an action, or inaction is there in an action. We can see this here. A messenger delivers the communication of the address. It may be good news or bad news, but the messenger is not affected by it, since he is not. Swami Siddhananda's commentary on the The wise man engages in action, but with firm belief that it is in adoration of the Lord. Very much always spread or stressed on this earlier speakers also. All we do is, that's why at the end of every ritual we say Paramarpana. We don't want to have any effect of that. But we should not have adverse effect of not doing also. Very interesting point. Do it, but not having the effect of that. If you don't do it, it is bad. If you do it, you will get the result of that. I don't want that, but I want to do karma also. It's a very, very tricky situation, but this is how it is explained. The first 6 chapters of Gita entitled Karma Yoga summarized in 2 places. Performing Vihita or Nishita karmas as adoration to God. That's called Bhakti Yoga or Karma Yoga, whatever. Yoga itself is defined in Patanjali's Yoga Sutra as Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha. Chittasya Vrittehe or Parinamasya Nirodha Yadi Tat Yoga Iti. In other way, it can be said, all the sense organs do not function at all. That's why they say, Manasa Sanodi, Manasa Pashyati. It's the mind that matters. If all the sense organs are functioning, a dead person also should be able to see, or should be able to hear. He has got eyes. But that person's eyes, when fitted on somebody else by an operation, that blind man is able to see. Or there are windows and doors. Windows can't see. Doors cannot make people come in and go. People see through the window, or people come and go out of the door. So there are only windows and doors. So the sense organs do not function at all. This is what Patanjali says. So Chitta Vritti Nirodha. So there is stoppage of action of the mind. Mind functions. Next. I don't also have much material in this corresponding audience, but it is my anxiety and the blessings of students on I come make some presentation. Maybe 100 mistakes in this, but you all pardon me for that. I'm still a student, very humble student of all this. I try to complete as quick as possible. So this I have covered already. Next one, sir. 16 and 17, lot of things are there, what should be done, what should not be done. I think I leave it in the audience to, not that you don't know, or further detailed study. One slogan, this is what should be the quality. Fearlessness, purity of heart, steadfastness, yoga, alms giving, control over senses, yajna, study of scriptures, etc., etc. This is what is Kārya. Next one. Arjavam is explained by Vidyavinya. A very long statement. Swamiji asked me to specially speak on that. Anyway, I just touch that. What is Arjavam? Saddhadaneshu, Sudrishu, Swajnana, Artha, Asangopan. Straightforward. That is the simple meaning. But this is the definition given by Vidyavinya. Next one. No, Saddhadaneshu, Sudrishu. So Sadhana means a person who is interested in listening and all that. So listeners and all that. Swajnana Artha Sarvogana. What is the correct meaning in this is not covered. It is revealed to Prabhupada. Nobody keeps reserved anything with him. He makes completely what he knows. He wants to be student. Straightforward, they can be the translation. But deeper meaning given by Vidyavinya is that. Sorry. So this is that practice already. Anyway, I regret having been there in the 30 years of the I should have come to line and be your disciple. Anyway, next one. So this is ahimsa. So ahimsa is an interesting word. Ahimsa doesn't mean non-violence. Normally it's translated like that. Himsa is necessary, so I'll show you that. Now these are the plus points which are called Kārya. Most of it you know, otherwise you can read it and find out. Next one. Now this is again the bad quality, which is akarma or adharma. Next one. It deals with type of food, the austerity, worship and all that, what should be done, what should not be done, do's and don'ts, or enjoined and prohibited action. This is a collection of Shankara's commentary on Prasthanatraya by Swami Kirtananda. I've taken all these from those commentaries. Next one. The Om Tassad, how is explained? What are the things to be done? What are things to be avoided? The Kārya and Akārya will come in this three simple words. Om Tassad. Next. Vedanta is what we talk. Vedanta doesn't mean normally not end of Veda, because Vedas have no end at all. Ananta Veda. What you have got only is fragment of what really is the original Vedanta. People are being discovering where it is there, still there. So Vedanta means Vedasya Yadu Parama Tattvaryam. That is why we find philosophical statements made at the end. We call it Vedanta. Karma Kanda we say, Upasana Kanda we say, Jnana Kanda we say. Jnana Kanda is supposed to be Vedanta. Not the end of Veda, but it is Patpatta Veda. What Vedam intends. They are the very steps. There must be Sattva Shuddhi or the Chitta Shuddhi. Then there must be filling it with devotion and worship of God or Guru, both are on terms, as Shvedastra Upanishad will say. And finally leads to the state of realizing the essential nature of oneself. So these are the three steps. So Vedanta means ultimate result of doing all these things. Next one. Now I stop here, except one beautiful slogan which I always quote in any meeting, whether relevant or not. This is Pushpadanda's Shiva Mahimna Stotra, daily recited in Kedarnath temple. It will answer this also, this point also. Whatever path you are following, let it be Advaita, let it be Vishita Advaita, let it be Veda, let it be Dvaita, doesn't matter. What is the point in doing that? Ultimately, you reach the final aim of human existence. So, Aditatvandanam Kamtamihima Vangmanasayoho Adat Vyavritya Chagirmavite Sudibagi Vijinam Vajityad Riju Kudila Nana Padashusam Trinam Ego Gumyaha Twamasi How Payasam Atnavriva. So it's a prayer to Lord Shiva that whatever people follow, whatever path they follow, ultimately the target is reaching you. How? Example, all roads are there. There some are going east, west, some are west, east, north, south, and all that. Ultimately, where do they find their refuge? Ocean. So that is what. So this is what the prayer of all system. We have no difference at all. Advaiti never despises other system. But they say this is for certain ideas, this is better. It is up to you to accept or not. Finally, also it was mentioned what Bhagavad Gita against like that. I have told you, it is a Jnanavakyadam. This is what the correct thing I have told you. But it is up to you to accept after examining thoroughly. Not simply because I say, you apply yourself. That's why the whole Gita is, all people are like Arjuna only. That's why they say, why Gita was there? It is considering the normal person, Lord has brought down all this knowledge, the guise of Arjuna. Partham Uddishya Shastra Avataranam Kridam. That is what Gita is. So there are all so many other things where also you can find it and all. But Gita is considered to be, as I mentioned earlier, as Shankara says, essence of all Vedanta. I think you stay there is good enough. So from there, I've taken some examples to the extent I can understand. I have a small presentation. If there are mistakes, please pardon me and pray for my getting better. If it is correct, thanks for some. Thank you very much.